everyone. Welcome to another session of Let's Be Connected. I'm Shaima from University and I'll be your host for today. I'll just, again, give a very brief introduction to the program. It's a very innovative program that Nearest University came up with at the International Office. And the aim of the program is to bring different people together, whether it's the officers from the International Office, the lecturers, the professors, and all students, whether they are prospective students, current students, as well as alumni students. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce today's honorable guest, who is Professor Dr. Zeynep ONUR, the Dean of the Faculty of Architecture. Dear Professor, welcome.
Thank you. Very nice to be here.
Of course, Professor, thank you. Actually, the pleasure is shared. I would like to, on behalf of the whole team, to thank you for having accepted our invitation for today's show. How have you been? Can you tell us how you have been? How is life on your side?
Well, we're in home, educating from home, distance learning, but we are all right being in Cyprus, in a safe place, in a kind of condition like this. Thank you. Hope you are fine also.
Definitely. Thank you. Actually, we are good. We are fine. We are working as well. And the most important thing, of course, is to be safe above everything else. So I'm happy to hear that you've been fine. So if you will allow me, I would jump right into the questions. I will ask you some questions so that we can have information about the faculty in general and also the Department of Architecture. Most of the questions we will, to make it easier for the answers and to have a concise program, we will focus on the Department of Architecture. You are the Honorable Dean of the Faculty of Architecture. So, but most of our students, they might be prospective students, our viewers today. Can you tell us how you became in the position that you are in today and what led you to Nearest University?
Nearest University is a very high standard education university focused on research. That really affected me. This is why I'm in Nearest University. And we have so many opportunities that we can offer to our students. We have 3 departments as architecture, interior architecture, and landscape architecture. And we are very happy that we have a lot of opportunities to be served for our students in the environment of Nearest University.
That's nice. Thank you for that. Let's jump right into the Department of Architecture. You have mentioned that you have different types of architecture available in the faculty. But when it comes to the Department of Architecture, can you tell us about what this particular program covers?
Architecture program, architecture degree brings together elements of mathematics, art and design, management, logistics, mechanics, physics, and city planning. Architecture is a word with several different meanings. Firstly, a general term to describe buildings and other physical structures. And secondly, the art of science of designing buildings, including the design and method of construction. So someone who studies in this field will be interested both in science and arts. Studying architecture, we may say that gives an understanding and appreciation of the structures in which we live today. But it will also look to the future of design and how ideas can be created and implemented. We may say the most important goal of architecture program is to, as every design program, is to trigger the students' creativity.
Thank you for your answer. I think it's given that it's based on creativity, it means that it's also with time, uh, even if it's like after decades. For example, architecture as we knew it maybe 10 years ago is different from it as it is today. So it is an innovative program as well. You may correct me, but
Yeah,
so can you
that's
tell us
true.
about this, how it changes, for example? Mhm,
Technology changes, the epoch
and
understanding changes, opportunities changes, how we understand life changes, the demands from architecture changes related to the demands of the society. So an architecture has to know past very well to make a kind of addition or a change in the epoch that we are living in. So most of the people, so our students are going to be ready for fulfill the requirements of the society regarding their demands.
Definitely. Thank you for your answer. You're showing us the essence of architecture. It's very nice to hear this. So you did mention that the students need to know about the past, etc. But when it comes to the assessment methods in class, can you maybe tell us how students are assessed when it comes to the classroom? How are they evaluated, for example, when it comes to the grades, etc.? What do you focus on?
Well, as many design disciplines, mostly we evaluate students related to their progress. Um, we have architectural studios, and these are the most important and central part of the architectural education, occupying almost 1/4 of the total educational load. The important point for the instructors is to see assessment as a part of teaching learning process rather than a comparison among the students. In other words, assessment in the broadest sense involves identification of goals and purposes, selection of procedures, methods, the measures, coordination of timing, analysis of data, interpretation of results, and formulation of responses to the results. So, in architecture faculty, mostly, and even in every course, finals is a minor part of the assessment criteria. The progress along the semester is the most important thing. Where did they begin? How did they end up? They did not. Most of them are not beginning from the same start point of view. So how do they progress is very important to us. Instead of classifying according to the results that they achieve, one might have a very long distance they may go over during the semester. One might make a very minor change. We evaluate them accordingly.
Mhm, mhm. Definitely. Thank you for this very instructive answer. It's important for our students, especially the prospective students, to know how they will be evaluated in class so that they come prepared, actually.
Yeah.
If I may ask you, you did mention about the program of the Department of Architecture, but before we jump to the next question, can you maybe tell us about the year-by-year program, as in the courses, the course structure for architecture? What students can expect when it comes to year 1, year 2, till they graduate for the bachelor's of architecture?
Actually, the year one is introduction to architecture, introduction to design. When they come to the first year, uh, mostly we say that forget about everything that you have been learned since now. We are beginning with a new language, which is an international language that you can speak with everybody else, although you do not know their languages. This is the language of design, of drawing. Uh, and some courses related to culture. What is architecture and art is all about humanities, to understand the world, to look to the world from our glasses, is the main understanding of the first year, how the courses were being structured. Following years, in second year, third year, fourth year, that design courses, as I have been told, are at the core. And there are courses to be added in every year, one year by one year. In the second year, they will meet with history of architecture courses, for example, which they had some clues in the first year in humanities courses, art and design courses, and then some tools we have in architecture to be very confident about what we are drawing, the software programs related to architecture, in which programs we can draw and show to the clients as well as their lecturers. So some web-based drawing courses are being added to the program in the second year. Also, some awareness related to sustainability, ecologic living, building physics are being to added in the second year. Third year, still at the core there is design studio, but there will be courses about structures. How do we structure buildings? Mainly, most of the site work and how we achieve a building will be added, as well as landscape design courses will be added in the third year. Courses related to acoustics, lighting, weather, climate, effects for the buildings and the landscape, architectural planning will be added. Fourth year will be more specialized courses as drawing some kind of documents that they will be facing in their professional life. The legal aspects of the architectural regulations. What else in the fourth year? And beginning from the second year, they have nearly 30% of our program is consisted with elective courses. They can take those elective courses from the courses that we offer in the department, the courses that we offer in the faculty, and as well the elective courses offered by the university. So, as you know, architecture is a discipline related to nearly every discipline. So they can take courses from psychology, law faculty, engineering faculty, that they find themselves that and whatever they are interested for, they can take courses from the university. Elective courses are the main courses. Yeah, a lot of courses in the fourth semester there are. It's a program like this.
Thank you so much. It was very detailed, and I think all of our viewers who are watching us right now, even those who will watch the video later, they have gotten a very good overview of the 4 years program of the undergraduate program in architecture. So thank you again for your very for your detailed answer. And if I may add, is it safe to say then, even as an international student, this faculty is very equipped for international students who come from different cultures, different background? Because you did mention that it is you have a culture-based approach as well when it comes to the Department of Architecture. So is it safe to say that it's very friendly to international students?
It is really very friendly for international students. As you have been mentioned, we have students from all over the world, from very different cultures, very different countries, and they come together in the atmosphere of a class. Uh, in architecture program, we mostly give them um, some kind of research subjects that they can realize by groups. So those groups are being consisted from different cultures. They work together. They become very good friends. Um, they can do anything that they would like to do in the campus. As you know, we have a fantastic campus, very huge, full of opportunities. So they spend their time in that environment of campus, also with their friends from different countries. Uh, Actually, we have clubs that they can join together and do a kind of funny entertainment things in that clubs. So yes, I may definitely say that our environment is very friendly for international students.
Thank you so much again for it's very nice to hear something like this because a large percentage of our viewers as well as our students who end up coming to the university, they are from abroad. So international students constitute a big percentage of our student population. So given that someone with your status, the dean of the faculty of architecture, is indeed affirming and confirming such a friendly, international friendly environment. So I think it's a plus for our students. I hope that they are all getting the right message from you right now.
Yes, I would like to add that cultural diversity is a very important architecture program. The local architectures, our students bring their own cultures related to how to structure something, and those differences makes a fantastic plurality in the studio lectures. Learning from them, we are learning from them also. The sharing with the friends about their traditional cultures related to the field of architecture, I mean, is a really, yeah, we are really benefiting from their existence also.
That's also nice. So it means that the faculty in general and the academic staff is open of international students when it comes to the
Yes,
academics as well.
exactly. Yes, sure.
That's amazing. That's amazing to hear. Thank you again for your answer. So we'll just jump to the other question, which is within the classroom now. Let's say that we have students, an undergraduate architecture student. What can you tell such a student when it comes to some tricks or hints that they can maybe apply to understand the concept of architecture or the program that they are studying better? We talked about assessment methods, that is the exams, the
Yes.
traditional ones, the traditional methods, but what are some extra tips that you can give them to better understand their program?
Uh, well, are you meaning that how can they broaden their understanding of the subject? Something like this, are you asking?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Um, Actually, the program of architecture in undergraduate education is full of fun. Uh, as I have been mentioned, our design studios, they are questions related to a site and a kind of theme that they have to solve in that specific site. So we have site trips. In mostly we select the sites from the island that we are living in. So they are having some kind of site trips to the design project that they are going to work on. And in the island, there are so many historical sites from the Middle Ages, very interesting architectural results that they can see. So in these kinds of fields, they can find many officials, many departments related to broaden their understanding, like governmental institutes that they can go and ask for. Actually, the research problems we are giving to them are directing them to those kinds of institutions also, trying to get the knowledge related to their past, trying to get the knowledge about the regulations, how to build on that specific site. So we have a very capable library in our campus with full of important opportunities. That library is a big opportunity for broaden their understanding of the subject. Also, during the semester, we are organizing some seminars, workshops, possibility of taking courses from our faculties are all their opportunities to broaden their understanding. We are organizing some workshops related to all the departments in the faculty may involve, and making groups of, for example, an architecture student with a student of interior architecture or landscape architecture, and sharing the knowledge of their own department with the others. That is another opportunity to broaden their understanding, because an architecture, when graduates, can work on very different scales, from a chair to town planning. So these are the opportunities to broaden their understanding of the subject.
That's amazing. Actually, sometimes some faculties or some departments, they leave this to the students. So, for example, they tell the students, "You'll do it on your own." But it's very, very nice to see that actually the faculty has invested itself in finding such opportunities. Actually, so from everything that you have told me, the faculty has a very nice setup, so that they have a list of prescriptions that they offer to students that help them to broaden their understanding. So that's very nice to see. And if I may add, actually Cyprus, where the university is located right now, it's actually a very good opportunity in itself, given that, like you mentioned, it's very rich architecturally. It's very, very rich. So I think our students, they will be excited to hear that the place that they will go to for university and for their education in itself, it is rich when it comes to architecture. So thank you for your answer once again. So since we talked about what is available here when it comes to some institutions, some sites, some companies, so can you tell us if, for example, there is summer training? Some departments, they prescribe summer training as compulsory. Can you tell us if summer training programs are compulsory for the architecture department? And if they are not compulsory, can students still request to do some summer training if they want to as volunteer?
Sure, it is compulsory in architecture program also, the summer training programs. In architecture department, we have two compulsory summer training programs. One has to be in the construction site. Second has to be in an architectural office, and they have to complete this training out of education periods, and has to be at least 21 working days out of Saturdays and Sundays. They mostly do the first internship at the end of second year. They have to go to a site since they have been knowledge about some kind of construction. What is construction? What is what do an architectural building is being constructed. So they have to go to summer internship and to watch them one by one while the site is under construction. The second one, the office internship, has to be at the end of the third year. At the end of the third year, they have been done at least six design studios. They have been passed or taken, and in this design studios, since they have been uploaded with the kind of drawings software, they are ready to work in an architectural office. So they have to go to an architectural office and realize their office internships there with a responsible architect which has at least 5 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And also, if I may add a follow-up question here, given that, like I mentioned, we have a lot of international students who choose our university. So I'm sure many of them will ask regarding the summer training program. Can they do it from their country? If, for example, in that summer period, given that it's the holiday period, if they choose to go to their country, can they do this summer training in companies that are located in their country? Is it possible that they do this and then they bring certain documents that can be evaluated and counted here when they come back here?
For sure. Most of our students are making their internships in their own country. We have rules and regulations how to fill the internship notebook, what to do, what specific things are we asking for. First, they make their application with a letter from the company that they are going to do their internships. Then we approve it and send it back to the company. Then they begin to make their internships. At the end of the internship, we are asking from the company about their opinions related to our student to be filled in a form. And students are also completing their training by documenting everything that they have been realized in that internship. And they are sending this completed notebook to us by email.
That's also amazing to hear. It's very attractive when it comes to the summer training program. Yeah, this. Thank you so much. We have a question from.
And the ones who is not going to back to their country in summer and continue staying in the island, we are providing them spaces. We are finding them spaces that they can work both in site and also in office trainingship. As you know, we have an EU design as a company in our university. There are constructions built all over the campus and both in the town, in Girne, in Nicosia. So we are directing them to those kinds of sites or offices or the office to realize their internships. We are helping them to find places also.
Definitely. Thank you for this addition in your answer. Actually, it's answering to one of the questions of our viewers right now who asked if the student wants to do summer training in Cyprus, can the department offer, especially when it comes to site work? So you beautifully replied to that question, actually. So thank you, dear viewer, for your question, and I believe that it has been answered properly. So we'll move to the next question, which is to it's something personal to you as a professor. So can you tell us how you identify those students who are successful, or what do you count as successful students? What are their qualities according to you?
Well, the most important thing is the passion, I may say. it comes at the first stage. If a student does have enough passion about the world of architecture, I think this is the first point, maybe even the very important and satisfactory point that they may have. Who has a strong passion being a good designer are the most successful students. Maybe we may add that being easygoing is one of their characteristics. That also brings being successful in a teamwork. Believing to themselves, meaning being confident, is one of the qualities of successful students. I think this is if these are fulfilled, nothing is needed. These are really very successful students. And if you think that I will do, and I will do it, then you will do it.
Thank you for your answer. I think it makes a lot of sense what you just said, because it brings us back to your initial retrospective of architecture students. You did mention that architecture and the departments offered by the faculty, actually it relies on creativity. So those qualities that you just mentioned, for example, if a student, they have to be easygoing, they have to know how to be creative, etc. So anything that will counter their creativity, it's going to reduce their success, actually. So thank you for your answers. So I hope the prospective students can understand this guy's passion and easygoing. It's at the basis of the Faculty of Architecture and the departments that they are offering, especially the Department of Architecture. So relax, take the advice of our dear Dean of the faculty. I'll just move to the next question, which is making us move from the undergraduate program now. We have postgraduate programs as well. So can you maybe tell our dear viewers what are the advantages of after their undergraduate program? What are the advantages of pursuing postgraduate studies in this particular field?
Graduate student studies is very important in the field of architecture if you really want to be a specialized in a kind of way of architecture. So postgraduate studies are very important. I highly recommend them to continue their education with the postgraduate studies. And there are some advantages for the students from some countries. For example, when we were in contact with Nigerian accreditation committee, they advised our Nigerian students to continue to their graduate studies, and we have been prepared for them a program with a dissertation. If they complete this program after their undergraduate studies, they may be accepted as a professional architect when they turn back to their countries. But in any case, graduate studies mostly give a kind of other understanding to the field of profession. So I really advise them to continue their studies.
Thank you so much for your answer again. And from your observation, can you tell us if the students who have finished their Bachelor's of Architecture here in nearest university, do they prefer to continue with their postgraduate studies within our university itself, from your observations?
Yes, they do. For example, the most of the students who have been graduated with very high CGPAs. Actually, for example, last year, the first place in our faculty, our student has been started to graduate studies in our university. We have many students coming from abroad only for graduate studies out of our own graduates. We have high enough students in postgraduate, in graduate studies, both in master's and PhD studies. For our graduates, for sure, it's an advantage to continue your education in an environment that you already know, that you already located in a dorm or in a private home, sharing with your friends. It is easy to be accepted since they're our own graduates. So there are many advantages for them to continue in the university that they have been graduated in, near university.
Thank you, dear Professor. It's actually very encouraging. All the points that you mentioned, they are very encouraging for students who are now going to graduate from their bachelor's program. So thank you once again. I would like to take this opportunity, since we are talking about postgraduate studies for both master's and PhD, I would like to address myself to our viewers that to mention that Near East University, we are currently open for taking applications of postgraduate studies, and we have an open application period for postgraduate scholarships. So I'm going to just mention at the very end of this program, so stay tuned so that you get a little bit more information about this. But we do have a scholarship scheme going on right now. Before we jump to the other question, I would like to address myself. There is one question from our viewers right now, which is related to the PhD program. So someone is asking, are there summer courses for PhD students? Can you maybe help us in this regards, Professor, please?
If I do not understand wrong, they are asking, are there courses in summer school?
Exactly.
Okay,
PhD.
yes, we do. We are going to announce all the courses that we are going to open in summer school at the 20th of this month, both graduate and undergraduate. We have courses to be offered in summer semester also, in graduate program, in PhD and master's.
Thank you, Professor. I believe our dear viewer, your question has been answered now. So like the dear Professor mentioned, it's going to be announced soon. So you can either check the website of the university, or you can contact the international office for more information. I'm going to move to the next question now. We have talked about undergraduate program, postgraduate program, but now once someone is graduated, of course, they are going to enter the working sector. Can you maybe shed some light on what job opportunities this field can offer for students of this arena? For example, whether it's architecture or the faculty in general, what can they expect when it comes to job opportunities?
Well, there are some defined work opportunities. For example, first, they may work as an architect. Realizing designs and constructions of the building that they have been designed. This is being an architect. Maybe they will work in a professional office at the very beginning, and then they may construct their own architectural office and begin to serve for society by doing their designs, realizing their designs, etc. They can also work as an architectural technologist, using science and engineering skills to create spaces, sustainable constructions. An architect can also work as an interior and spatial designer. They may use their creativity to achieve attractive and efficient spaces. Building surveyor is another opportunity which is concerned with modifying, fixing, renovating, and restoring existing buildings. They may work as a town planner. They may work on regeneration and sustainability of towns as a town planner. They may work as a production designer. They may take a role as a production designer on the set of the films, television programs, and theater shows, for example. They may work as a historic building inspector, conservation of the historic environment, and help to protect and enhance buildings with historical, architectural, or cultural significance.
Mhm.
They may also work as a structural engineering. They may work with engineers and other architects to design safe structures. They may also work in education sector as an educator, lecturer, as a teacher. I think the education of an architect is a general education. Maybe the most important outcome is to make some plans related to the future, constructing the future possibilities. So, an architect, I know so many architects working in video making. I know some architects, my own students after graduation, working abroad in many different countries in the world as a structural engineer or a surveyor of the construction. I know some of them has opened their own coffee shop and serving coffee with fantastic, delicious cakes and whatever else. So it's like a general general education, which gives you a possibility of making strategies related to future and also creating some kind of ideas in the field that they are related to, in the profession that they are selected to work on.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you for your answer. It's like you mentioned, it's a very vast range actually when we see what architecture can lead you to. So it can start from something very specific or go still through architecture, reach another goal. So it's very nice to see this. I'm sure that it's going to be very helpful for our viewers as well as those students. Maybe they're still studying in their postgraduate level, but they haven't really figured out what they want to do. I think this is going to be very helpful, dear Professor. Thank you again. So since we did talk about, you mentioned that some students, they have let you know that what they are doing now after graduation, etc. So does it mean that students can still contact you once they have graduated, or those students who are still currently studying outside the classroom, is there a way for them to reach out to you if they need anything extra, whether it's advice, help, or just to contact you? Are you open to that?
I may say that the whole faculty is open to that. For sure, we have office hours, but out of office hours, they may email to us. We give them the answers that they are searching for. I may say that we have WhatsApp groups nearly in every course, so they can easily write from WhatsApp about the problem that they are facing or further information they are in need of. And all the faculty members willingly answer their questions, direct them to the where they have to go or take where they can find the knowledge that they are asking. We are like friends in the faculty, the lecturers and students. We are all together friends. We always in contact out of class also.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's, I believe all of our students, whether they are current students or prospective students, they are going to be very excited to see that the Faculty of Architecture actually has communication and warmth and friendliness at the basis of their structure. So thank you so much to put this out there. I believe it's going to attract our students quite much. So we are going towards the end of the program now. Only a few questions left. We have talked about everything: undergraduate program, postgraduate programs, classroom, outside classroom. We have covered almost everything. But there is one particular question that is very, very crucial when it comes to a university, especially one of our standards and one that is open to so many international students. It is the question of accreditation. Can you please shed some light on the accreditation of our diploma when it comes to the Faculty of Architecture or the Department of Architecture particularly, please?
Well, our program has been accredited by MOBIC. MOBIC means that Turkish Higher Education of Architectural Schools accreditation body. So their certificate will be valid also in Turkey. And we have Cyprus Higher Education body, YODAC, has been accredited our programs also. And we are at the end of the stage of being accredited by the Nigerian accreditation body, ACRON. These are our accreditations.
Thank you so much for shedding light onto this matter. I hope that all of our viewers are getting the answers to the questions that might be lingering in their head. So thank you again. And I would like to just add that if you need any additional information about accreditation, you can always visit the university website. We have a whole page whereby accreditations can be seen in more details. So thank you again, dear Professor. So I'll just ask you now a very trendy question, because we are now living in a more informatic world, a more technological world, because we have been pushed into our computers, our phones, and technology given the COVID-19 pandemic. What can you tell us about this? How did it affect the faculty? How did it affect the assessments? We have had to resort to online classes now, as well as the exam. So can you please tell us how this transition has been for your department?
We have started online courses. The following day, the higher education institution has been given a break because of pandemic conditions by the decision given by our rectorate. We have realized all the courses online during the semester. As you know, we have just started the semester, and there were some advantages of being started. As I have mentioned, we have already visited the sites that students are going to work about their studio courses. We have been distributed the land information to them. So it was a bit easy to continue from that beginning. So we used the university's opportunities for continuing to that online courses. From Moodle, we have been constructed a page for each class, and we met with our students on live classes by Google Meet. Some of them had some difficulties of not having internet connection. Some of them has been turned back to their countries by leaving their own computers in the island with the assumption that they will be back again in a week or something. So they had no computers to work with, but they showed an amazing effort, our students, I mean. Out of those small phones, they tried to fulfill all the requirements that their lecturers are asking from them. And we found the overall achievement at the end of the semester out of what we have been expecting. They were really very responsible and very hardworking with the opportunities that they can find. Some was working with the same computer with 6 or 7 brothers and sisters of them. They were sharing the computer. But I may say that they did well, very well. And the examinations were also held online. And we have been already graded them, and they may know their grades. And most of them are very happy with their grades.
Thank you so much, dear Professor. Actually, it seems that the transition was very the transition was very smooth, actually, and I believe that from whatever you have told us, I see that the architecture students, they are very passionate. You mentioned that they have to be passionate, so to be able to adapt to the situation, no matter the lackings or the obstacles, and they manage to do it with success. I believe that they are all very passionate. It's very nice to hear this. So thank you once again. So we have another question from our viewers right now. So the question is directed to you. What is the dean's take on teachers adjusting their style or method of teaching for underprepared or less motivated students? So just to reformulate it, what do you advise the fellow academic staff when it comes to students who are underprepared or less motivated when they are in class? So, for example, those who don't have enough passion, etc. What are your advice for such cases?
Well, we are, as I have been said, that we are trying to understand one by one. Architecture education, I am continuously telling that at the core there is a studio, and out of studio there are some courses with practice at the studio also. So we are having chance to know our students one by one. In a studio, one lecturer has 15 students maximum in a design course. So all semester long, that 15 students are proposing their designs by drawing them, showing to their lecturers, and the lecturers is trying to understand what that student is trying to do. They're trying to understand what is in their mind and trying to give them ways that how can they proceed according to the problem that they have been defined according to the same question that has been asked. In a studio, one lecturer will have 15 students maximum, but let's say third year, first year students number is around 60. So that means that there are four lecturers and 60 students has been divided 15, 15, 15 to each of them. So that 15 students and a lecturer is working about that specific problem at the beginning of the semester. And we know students one by one, how which of them are passionate, which are them are think they took some of the students, it took a long time to be in the thing. That's an attitude. This is not a problem. They are not drawing, for example, they are not showing you anything that they have been drawn, which they have to in every class hour, but they're trying to concentrate on the problem, maybe making a kind of research related to the issue that we have been, assignment that we have been asked to them. So all lecturers are aware that we have to be in a contact, be in a relation with them according to their preferences, their abilities, their kind of how their mind works actually. So students with passion at the very beginning is a big advantage for himself or herself, and also for the lecturer. For the ones, you have to make them in a mood that they have to be passionate. They have to attach to the question that we have been asked. And sometimes it takes time for some students, but mostly we achieve, and we capture them and make them passionate related to what they are working for. I believe. Hopefully, it is like this. It has to be.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your answer. So, if we have to summarize what you just said, it means that those who are already passionate, this is an advantage. But those who are less motivated or not as passionate as the others, it's not a disadvantage in itself. It is something that the faculty is equipped, the faculty staff equipped to build that passion, to make the student more comfortable and better capable to adapt to the faculty. So so this is indeed something very nice to hear from the Honorable Dean. And I believe that the question of our viewer has been beautifully answered once again. So thank you, dear Professor. We have, just to mention, we have another viewer asking about the scholarship. I will mention about the scholarship application at the very end of the session, dear viewer, so you can tune in to hear about that. So, dear Professor, we have nearly completed today's session, so I will just ask one last question, a general question to wrap up. So what advice, what pieces of advice can you give those students who are looking forward to apply to the Department of Architecture, or those who feel like they have an inclination towards architecture in general? What is your advice for those students?
Well, I advise them to come to School of Architecture if they are really interested in the field. And I am sure that if they enter to the Faculty of Architecture, Department of Architecture, they will never regret being here if they have a kind of question in their minds. After graduating from architecture school, they will be strong, dynamic, smart, and well-rounded graduates who are ready to move, who are ready to move into the next phase of becoming an architect. Architecture is a general impulse to personality, a kind of trigger to ask yourself, who am I? What I'm dealing for? What is the world? Why I'm here? What shall I do? What I have to do? Kind of questions will appear in their minds. Then they will become a brilliant problem solver. They will do a lot of things. Making is our first slogan. They will be making and making drawings, models, renderings, 3D computer drawings, paintings, collages. They will do at the end. They will make very good friendships. They will meet. They will make great friendships. They will learn to think outside of the box, looking to the problems from many different angles. It's not getting from A point B. It's all about the journey that students go on, arrive to the destination. They will discover that what they are capable of, what is the specific things related to them. They are going to be capable about figuring out what they want to do with their life. And at the end, I may say they will have a lot of fun.
Definitely. It's a very, very beautiful way to end this session, because you gave out so many instructive as well as helpful helpful pieces of advice, and I believe that this was the perfect way to end this session on such a beautiful note. So I hope our viewers today had a lot of answers to their questions that were already there, or even if they didn't have such questions in their head. I believe that you have covered so much of the Department of Architecture and the faculty in general. So it's actually sad that we are ending this our session today. So we hope that we will see you again, dear Professor. I would like once again thank you for having accepted our invitation today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The pleasure was shared, dear Professor. So until next time, I'm going to tell you to take care of yourself, and good luck with everything that you have on your agenda, and hope to see you soon, dear Professor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity.
You're very welcome. The pleasure was ours. So we have ended at the end of yet another session of Let's Be Connected. This was the Honorable Professor Dr. Zeynep ONUR, the Dean of Architecture, and it was a very nice session that we had with her. So tune in for more incentives like this, more beautiful sessions like this that are going to be very instructive as well as helpful for you guys. So now the bigger question, how to apply. We have talked about everything, but how do we apply? It's not very difficult. You're going to send an email to the email address that will appear right now on the screen, info@neu.edu.tr. I repeat, info@neu.edu.tr. You can send any of the queries that you have, or you can just directly send your documents to the email address, and the related officer is going to answer you accordingly. Another important point that I was saying throughout the session is the postgraduate scholarship application. So we currently have postgraduate scholarship application period that is open, and the scholarship percentages start from 25% and end at 100%. So in between, there are different percentage points of the scholarship that will be awarded to our prospective students of master with thesis program as well as PhD programs. So the percentage that you're going to be allocated or granted depends on the evaluation of your document. So the best advice that I can give you is to just send your application to the same email address that appeared on the screen, and you'll be helped accordingly. Guys, it's time for me to leave you, and I will just mention that we have another session scheduled on Wednesday, so tune in. Don't forget to check our social media, our Instagram page, as well as our Facebook page, and I'll see you next time. It was Shaima from Nearest University, and don't forget, let's be connected. Until next time, bye.